Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be exploring Google Classroom and we're going to be looking at specifically how to create a quiz. If it's the first time you're joining us, welcome to Teach Us, a channel that looks at online platforms, tools and resources. Alright, so let's kickstart this tutorial by logging into your Gmail account, right? So once you log in, you click the waffle icon and you go to Google Classroom. You're going to tap on the class that you'd like to add your assessment to. This is just what the screen page looks like, right? So I'm going to go over to the classwork tab. I'm going to tap it and then I'm going to create my assignment or my quiz assignment rather. So the first thing I'm going to do is to give it a title, right? So I'm going to choose a nice title for it because it's just demonstration purposes today. I'm just going to, just give it a random title. So you want to give your test a title so that the students can find it and relate to it. Next, I'm going to give my instruction. I'm just going to give a basic instruction here, just telling the students what to do in order to access the form. So I'm just going to say, for example, click on the document below so that they know that they should click on the attachment, right? Simple instruction. So this is what the blank form is looking like. So I'm going to click on it. It will automatically populate once you choose quiz, right? So you don't have to click create and add it. So this is the blank form. With Google Forms, it allows you to do a lot. You can customize it by clicking the palette above and then choose a header, right? So if you have a pre-made header, you can go ahead and upload it. If not, you can choose from the variety that is embedded in the Google Classroom tool. And you have different themes that you can select from: work, illustration, birthday, etc. So it depends on what you're looking for. I sometimes just normally upload a theme, a pre-made theme. And if you do that, you want to work with a dimension of 800 by 200. So once it is that I've uploaded my image or selected my image, then the color selection will be automatic and then I can choose a font size, style. I normally just work with basic and then I click apply. So this is what it's looking like now. Choose a font. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and give my quiz a title. So for example, if you're teaching a particular topic, you can go ahead and write your title there. For today, for demo, I'm calling it trial 1. And you can also go ahead and give it a description so that the students know exactly what you're doing or what is expected of them. So you just go ahead and type whatever descriptions right in that section there. A typical description, if it is that your form is going to have different sections, you can go ahead and give it a section name and then give the description or the instruction that correlates to that section. If it's just one simple quiz, then all you have to do is just tell the students what is expected. Is it that you would like them to answer all the questions below or select the most appropriate response? This section consists of X amount of questions, answer all. Those are some typical description that you can write for your form. Alright, so now that I'm finished, or basically finished with my description, this is what the page is looking like. You have different tools and icons that I will go into later to help you navigate the system. You have different. Okay, so now we're going to work on our questions, right? So right below the description where you see untitled question, that is where you're going to type your question. You can use different type of questioning, so it can be a short answer, a long answer, Google Form supports that. So my first question that I'm going to ask, or statement, you can give a question or a statement, is I would like the students to write their names, right? So I'm going to ask them, write your name here, and then select short answer as the response, or how I'd like them to answer the question. So short answer, and that will give them a little section below the question to write their responses. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to ensure that this is a required question, so the students cannot move on until they would have answered that. So right where you see that there on the screen, that little tab, you slide it across and it becomes a starred question or a required question, so they have to answer it. And as you can see, the star is on the screen. Alright, so for the actual questioning now of the test, right? Right where you see question there is the same procedure. You're going to type it. You have the option of selecting how you'd like to ask the question, how you'd like your responses to be, sorry. Is it going to be in the form of a multiple choice? Is it going to be a checkbox? Is it going to be a paragraph? Is it going to be a fill in the blanks? So you have that sort of flexibility as it relates to how you're going to ask your question. So you have that. Alright. So right below where you would have typed the question, right? You're seeing option 1, add option or add other. So that allows you to select multiple responses when you're filling out those fields or you're filling out the answers. So you can add a response or you can subtract a response. It all depends on how many responses you'd like to have on the question. So I'm just going to go ahead now and fill those out. As I'm filling it out, as you see to the right of where I'm filling out the answer, there is a little box there. So if it is that you want your response to be in the form of an image, Google Forms supports that. So if it is that you're not just typing out the word and you'd like the student to see or visualize whatever it is, or you want to use an image to test their understanding, you can go ahead and do it. The beautiful thing about it is that Google Form is pretty flexible. So for those teachers of math or science, those teachers would depend on a lot of imagery, on a lot of graphing, etc. You can put all of that here and have the students navigate. Alright, so now for the million-dollar question. How do you get Google Forms to mark your multiple choice questions, your fill in the blanks, etc.? Now, if you look to the bottom of the page, you're going to see an answer key, right? So you're going to tap on it and it will ask you to fill in the points at the top. So I just filled in one. And then you're going to select the answer and then click done. The most appropriate response. You're going to select the answer, right? So once you do that, you're going to click done at the bottom of the page, and that is how you get Google Forms to mark your work. Oops. Alright, now we're back on the page. So as you can see, the correct answer is ticked there. So I'm just going to scroll down now and type another question. Alright, so now that I've finished typing my question, I'm going to select answer feedback. And what this does is that it's basically a personalized message that you can leave your students whenever they either get the incorrect answer or the correct answer. So if they got the question incorrect, then you can tell them to review a particular topic that you would have taught them, etc. Once you're finished with your message, you click save, and then that will automatically save. So once the students answer the question, then the appropriate response will come up. If it's feedback you gave for incorrect answer, they'll see that. If it's one for correct answer, then they'll also see that. Alright, so here is a demo for correct answer, feedback for correct answer. So as you can see, you can use a link. So if it is that the student did exceptionally well and you want to show them a particular image via link, you can do that. If you want to have them view a video from YouTube, you can also do that. Or you can send a message, you can write a message or incorporate an emoji. So for example, for this demo, I'm just going to write a simple text to say good job and just add an emoji. But the flexibility, there's so much you can do. It's so flexible. So you don't have to just limit yourself to just sending a text for correct answer. Especially if they say that the answer is difficult and they did it, it's nice to just put that there for them to see. So let's look at some other icons. The first one here that you're seeing with the circle around it, it allows you to import tests from other pre-made tests or edit other pre-made tests or take questions from that test and add it to your current test. This icon here that you see with the circle is the image icon, and it allows you to add images to your test either from your camera by URL or from your photos. The next one with the circle there with the play button, you can take videos from YouTube and add them to your assessment and then ask students questions from it or from what they would have watched. The next icon there, the last one, it allows you to separate your test into sections. So say for example, it's a long test and you have multiple sections, A, B, C, D, then this is where you would come in order to put your test into subsections. Alright, so this is what the test is looking like so far. So what I'm going to do is go to the top of the page and click that icon with the 3 dots, go to settings, and then start with general settings. I'm going to check limit to 1 response so the students can do the test once. Next, I'm going to go to presentation and then show progression bar so the students can see how much more questions they have to answer. Next, I'm going to go to quizzes and then release the grades later after manual review. So those are some important settings that you want to enable or disable. I'm going to go back in and disable the email address because that is not necessarily important for me. So I'm going to uncheck that box. Alright, and you can see what it looks like after I've changed that. So this is just what the general test is looking like so far. Now that I'm finished setting the test, how do I give my students access? There are several ways, right? So I can click the 3 dots again and go down to get pre-filled link. Once I select that, it will populate a link for me to copy and paste in my Google Classroom, and the students can just click on that link and gain access to the test. So that's just one way. The other way is to really just save the Google Forms and X out of all of these and go back to where the test is, and they would be able to click on it and gain access. And these are the other settings or the other tabs that are there that you can have a look at. You can always make a copy, etc. So this is a preview of what the test is looking like. As you can see at the bottom, there's a progression bar there, and there's a next because I placed it into sections. Alright, see at the bottom. Once the students try to attempt to answer any other question and not answer that start question, it won't permit them to do so. And that's why it's important to put required there. Alright, so now that I'm back where I actually added the Google form, I'm going to enable the other settings such as the date, the due date that I want this test to be done by, give it a due date that is, and add a time. So personalize those. Then I'm going to add a topic. I already have assessments, so I'm going to add it to that topic. And then my test would have been created. So this is the final product. This is how it looks. And once I click on the blank test, this will come up. And once I click on trial, I'll be able to see what the form looks like. Click on the Alright, so let's navigate Google Classroom as a student. So I'm going to join a class. I'm going to paste the code here and click join. Then it will automatically send me to that classroom, right? So I'll gain access to everything that has been posted. This is what the stream page is looking like, right? And as you can see, the test is there, but you can also access that test from the classwork tab. So just click on it and you will see whatever was posted, right? So I'm going to click on blank test, then click on the Google form icon, and it will take me to the test. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the necessary fields and answer the question. So this is exactly what the students would be seeing or will be seeing, because I'm in a student account now. So I'm actually taking the test as a student. As you can see, the progression bar is there, and once you click next, it takes you to the next section, section B. Then I'm going to click submit when I'm finished. Alright, so I'm going to go back in now as a teacher just to see what the student did. So I'm going to click on the assignment, the assessment bar. It tells me that one student turned in the work. Again, this is what the form is looking like. Right, that's what the form is looking like. Alright, so I'm going to check to see how much the student got. So I'm going to click turn in. And it will bring me to that page that will show the score. And as you can see, the student got 100. Show the score.